put together another short sequence, just so it's not too long, you can easily then fit it into your day, just to kind of really supplement what I had already filmed for the Christmas holiday. So I know that a lot of my students have been using this video just to supplement what we do in class, and then also just if you can't get to class one week, then you're able to fit in a short home practice. So I haven't really planned what I'm going to do, kind of just go with the flow, but I'm going to try and include things that we didn't do in the last one, so that you could almost use these practices to alternate. So with that in mind, we looked at the full yogic breath last time, so we're going to look at alternate nostril breathing this time. Okay, so just put some music on. So alternate nostril breathing is about restoring balance to the body. When we breathe normally, just on an everyday basis, we're breathing kind of indiscriminately with the left, the right nostril. It's not equal. So when we only breathe through one nostril at a time, believe it or not. So when we introduce alternate nostril breathing, it helps to restore balance to the body, to the mind, to the left, right side of the brain, and also just helps to restore a sense of calm and tranquility. Great as a beginning meditation, so just to keep your awareness on the breath. When we do the practice, as far as possible, try to keep the mind focused on the breath coming into and out of the body. Okay, so we take our hands into position. So for Nadi Shodhan, alternate nostril breathing, on the right hand, we take the the index, the first and the middle finger in towards the palm, extending the thumb and the other two fingers away. This is a mudra, a hand gesture, and it directs the flow of energy around the body. If this is not comfortable, you can take the first two fingers and just rest them gently onto the brow center. Okay, so you've got this choice or this choice. The other hand is just gently, you can just have it resting on the knee or come into a mudra, Gyan mudra. Okay, all we do is we cover the right nostril with the right thumb. Breathe in, deep breath in through the left nostril. Cover the left nostril, release the right, exhale through the right. Then breathe back in through the right. Cover the right nostril, release the left, exhale through the left. So that's one round already. Make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall, shoulders are relaxed. Really notice the connection with the earth through the sit bones. I'll go another couple of rounds with you, and you can just go at your own pace. Breathing in through the left nostril. Top of the breath. Cover the left nostril, release the right, exhale through the right. Breathe back in through the right. Cover the right nostril, release the left, exhale through the left. Back round again, breathing in through the left. Cover the left, release the right, exhale. Breathe back in. Cover the right, release the left, exhale. Again, you can continue at your own pace, just breathing in through the left. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Round again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One last round. Shoulders are relaxed. finishing on the exhale through the left side. Release the practice, just take your hands back down onto the knees. Take a couple of natural breaths. Should feel clearer through the sinuses, so it's really great if you have any kind of sinus problems, respiratory problems, just to keep nice and open. Enjoy the sense of calm, clearing the mind. Okay, and then opening the eyes, coming back into the space. We're just going to begin with our seated warm-up. So we'll take the left leg in front, so slightly in front. Take the hands to the floor. So we're going to fold forwards. You're going to get a deep stretch into the hip of the leg that's in front. You go as deep as is comfortable for you. So if you're here and your knee still feels okay, your hip, you feel the stretch into your hip, stay here. If you find you can go deeper, you can come onto your forearms. If you find you can go deeper, you can stretch your hands out, head and neck down towards the floor. So if you're coming further down, you're getting a stretch through the spine as well, and a deep stretch into the hips, outer hip, bottom. Obviously stay at your comfortable place. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then we're going to walk our hands down to the side. So possibly one hand next to the other, possibly one hand on top of the other. Okay, this is just going to get you a deeper stretch. You'll feel the stretch all the way from the hips, trying to keep the sit bone grounded, so try not to move forwards. So nice and grounded, stretching all the way from the hip up the side of the body into the fingertips. Relax the head and neck down if you're deep into the posture. So you're coming down. Alternatively, if you're up a little higher, just staying up and feeling the stretch along the side. If even this is too deep for you, just come into a side bend. So at least you're still getting the stretch along the side waist. Okay, taking a couple of breaths here in this position. And then coming back to centre, so walking the hands back to centre, pausing for a moment, and then coming back to sitting up. Okay, so I'm offering lots of levels. Obviously you don't need to do all the levels. You can come deep if you know you can, or stay at the first level and just hold the position. So crossing the legs the other way, so you've got your right leg in front this time. Again, exactly the same thing. You might find you can come deeper and keep your hands so you're up a little bit more, but feel the stretch into the hip. Go a little deeper if you can, or again stretching down if you wish, but relax the head and neck down. So you're feeling the stretch into the back, into the spine, maybe through the shoulders if you're fully extended. Alternatively, again, just feeling that stretch into the hip. Taking a couple of breaths here. And again, walking the hands to the side. So one hand next to each other, or one hand on top of the other. You feel the difference. Just stretches a little deeper into the side waist, grounding down through the sit bone. So again, not coming off. You can go deeper, relaxing the head and neck into the position. Really breathing into the side waist, breathing into the ribs. There's a lovely deep stretch into the hip, into the glutes, the side of the body, shoulders, armpits, all the way up the arms. Relaxing your weight so you're not tensing or straining, you're really relaxing whatever position you're in. So even if you're here, nice and comfortable, then walking the hands back to centre and then coming back to sitting up. Okay, so we're going to come into cat-cow position, so onto all fours. Okay, so coming into an all fours position. So you've got your wrists under your shoulders, knees under the hips in this position. Okay, so I'm hoping that I can't see myself, I'm hoping that my kind of body is matching what I'm telling you. All we're going to do is work with the flow of the breath. So as you breathe in, you take the gaze forward, gentle curve in the lower back, so we're not forcing a bend, but just your gentle natural curve in the lower back. Shoulders away from the ears, so we're not losing the shoulders. Just keeping long length from there in the neck. And then as you exhale, you tuck the bottom under, draw the belly button towards the spine, chin towards the chest, and really stretch into the upper back. So you can exaggerate this movement a little bit more. Again, work with the flow of the breath, breathing in, gaze forward, exhaling, tucking under. This is great for the lower back as long as you don't overdo on the inhalation. So as long as you're not forcing the movement, go with a natural curve here. It really is a nice release for the lower back, the upper back, there's the spine in general, the head. So you're always stretching through the back of the neck here. One last time. And then after your exhalation, just come to a neutral spine, a neutral position. We're going to come into a core balance. So we're going to take, actually we'll come to tiger pose first. So I'll do it with this leg first. Actually, you can still see it with this one. I'll take the right knee in. So you, on the exhalation, you draw the knee in towards the head. On the inhalation, have not kicking anything, you're stretching your leg out behind. So this is Vyagrasana. Exhaling, knee comes in. It doesn't have to come all the way in, just as far as it's comfortable. Extending out behind. Again, trying not to lose the shoulders, hopefully, or the neck. Breathing the knee in, and then exhaling. Actually inhaling, not exhaling. Just breathe. Okay, and then you can stay here if this is enough. So leg kind of parallel, hopefully parallel. Arm again out in front, so you can palm down, palm in. I would keep the gaze down, just so you're not straining through the neck. So this is a balance. You don't have to take the hand off. You can keep the hand to the floor. If you want to open it up a little bit more, take this hand round, find the foot, and then you can kick into the foot and open out a little bit. Again, it is more of a balance with a bit of a heart opener. And then release the knee down, release the hand down. Exactly the same to the other side. So draw the knee in towards the head. Extend the leg out behind. Really press the heel away, get a nice stretch into the calf. Knee comes in, drawing in, pointing the toes. Extending the leg out. I think I do 3 to the other side, just to make sure it's balanced. Or a balanced number. Knee comes in. And then extending out. Again, you can stay in this position. So you're working with a kind of strength in the back of the leg here. It is still a balance. If you want to bring it into a little bit more of a balance, taking the other arm out in front. Palm can be in or down, different people will demonstrate it in different ways. I'd keep the gaze down, just to not strain through the neck. Again, if you extended or advanced the pose on the other side, you might want to this side. So you're taking hold of the foot, kicking into the hand. Gaze comes forward in this position and just taking a few breaths. Make sure you do breathe. And then releasing down. Release the hand, the knee down. We'll come back into child's pose. So Balasana, taking the bottom towards the heels. Extend the arms away to keep it active. So if you want to keep it active, walk the hands forward. Head, neck soft towards the floor. If the head's not to the floor and it feels uncomfortable, you can take the head onto the fists. So just resting here. If you want to take it right the way down, just take the hands by the side of the body, by the legs. Allow the shoulders to kind of melt. So lots of different options here. You pick how you're feeling, okay? Again, if you want to keep it active into the shoulders, come onto the fingertips. And that just gets a little bit deeper into the shoulder muscles. Take a couple of breaths here, whichever position you're in. And if you need to have the knees wider, you can take the knees wider for it to be more comfortable. For some people, your bottom might not be to the heels, so just you might be a little bit off, but just find a position that's comfortable to relax for a few breaths. Okay, so how to change position slightly for the sun salutations in order to get the kind of up movement and the down movement. So in this angle you should be able to see my arms all the way up, and you should still be able to see me laying down. Okay, so we're actually going to do sun salutation B, I think Surya Namaskar B for this sequence, for this practice. We did A in the last one. Give myself enough room. So for sun salutation B, Surya Namaskar B, we bring our arms forward into chair pose, Utkatasana. So you breathe in, your arms come forward, exhale, hands through prayer, hinging from the hips, hands to rest at the floor, to the shins, wherever they comfortably reach. Breathing in, halfway lift, shoulders away from the ears, exhale down. We're coming back to our plank position. Okay, so trying to keep a nice straight line, not sinking, not bum up, but again, I can't see what I look like, but assuming I'm in a nice straight position. You've got options, so you can come through as you do with Surya Namaskar A if you prefer. So you can take the knees down, you can slide low into your Cobra or your Sphinx, but if you are okay to, what we usually bring into Surya Namaskar B is Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, so upward facing dog. So you would come from plank over the toes or tuck the toes under into upward facing dog. This is a little bit of a stronger back bend. Try not to lose the neck. You can take the knees down, takes a bit of pressure off the lower back if you wish. Gaze is forwards, heart is open, just so you're not sinking. Nice and strong, engaging the legs, and then coming back over the toes into your downward dog. So you can adjust the positioning of your feet if you wish, not on the toes, but extending the heels down towards the floor. You can bend the legs if you need to. So we're trying to get a nice long spine, lifting the bottom of the hips, that really small movement. Just taking a moment here. Then we'll take the right leg out behind, swing it forward between the hands, plant the back heel down, breathe the arms up into Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Try to keep the knee over the toes, front foot, so not open that way or that way. Gaze can be up or forwards, or you can keep your hands at the heart center if it feels too strong overhead. Taking the hands down, we're just going to do a shorter variation of Surya Namaskar B. We'll step back to Downward Dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana for a moment, extending the heels towards the floor. Remember, you can bend the legs if you need to. Take the left leg out behind, through between the hands, help it if you need to. Plant the back heel down, bring the arms up into Virabhadrasana 1. Gaze up, gaze forward, hands down if you prefer. Strength into the front leg, stretch into the back leg. Okay, and then taking the hands down, come back to your downward dog and settle into your downward dog. So staying here for a few breaths. Remember, you can take the feet wider if it feels more comfortable. You can take the feet closer together. Just stretch a little deeper into the back of the legs. You can pedal through the feet. So one heel comes down at a time. Really opens up the calves, the back of the legs. And if it starts to feel too strong at any point, you just take the knees down. Or actually, seeing as you're doing your own practice, you just move forward to the next point. Okay, so you bring your feet towards your hands. You can step them, so you can walk your feet towards your hands. If you wish, you bend your knees. Take a spring towards the hands. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale down. And then breathing the arms forwards through your chair pose. And exhale, hands to prayer. Okay, so we'll do another round. I'm not going to talk through it. We'll just flow through it together. Okay? Breathing in, exhale. Lift up, exhale. To plank, okay, I am talking through it, but I'm talking less. Your back bend, up dog if you wish. Breathing. Feel that lovely stretch in the lower back. Downward dog. right foot. Warrior one. Downward dog. Left foot. Warrior one on this side. Downward dog. And just a few breaths in downward dog. You can play with the positioning. You can take the feet, the hands wider. You can take them, from each other, further from each other. And then feet to the hands. Breathe in, exhale. Chair pose. Exhale. Okay, didn't give myself much room. I'm a bit near the wall. Okay, so we'll take, if you have a drink, you want a drink, have a drink at any point. Maybe you can press the pause button on this. We're going to have a look at Natarajasana, I think we'll do, which is a heart opening posture. So first of all, we'll warm through the quads, so through the front of the legs. We'll take the hands, the weight onto the left leg. You're going to catch hold of the right foot, possibly, and you're encouraging the heel towards the bottom. Okay? So you're encouraging, doesn't have to, it might be here. If you can't reach the foot, dressing down belt or yoga strap, you can wrap the strap around the foot and hold like this, but we're essentially stretching through the front of the leg. Okay? Trying to keep the knees together, the body up tall. Also working on the balance, and then releasing. And then exactly the same to this side. So catching hold of the other foot, knees together, just so it's not like this or like this. So find your balance. Heel towards the bottom. Feel the stretch to the front of the leg. Holding for a few breaths here. And then releasing the foot. Okay, so you've warmed through your quads. We'll come, I might have to, I think you can still see me from over here, because you possibly want to lean into the posture, so there might be enough room. Come back to the first leg that we stretched, catching hold of the foot into the hand, and you're kicking. Actually, options, you can take the, I think a lot of people like to hold it on the inside, so the foot holding the inside, hand holding the inside of the foot helps to keep the knees in kind of alignment. But I think if it's more comfortable, you can take the hand to the outside, so actually like this way, the shoulder nice and open. But I see everyone does it in different ways. I see people do it in different ways. It's kind of what's comfortable for your shoulder, so this way, maybe not that way, okay, this way. Arms up in front, hips level, shoulders level, and then you're kicking the foot into the hand, and you can stay here. If you want to go deeper, you can go a little bit deeper, trying to keep the knee in, so not like this, but keeping the knee in, possibly folding forwards. Okay, holding for a few breaths, find your drishti, so a focal point that's not moving, and then coming back to centre. I don't know what that looked like. Hopefully it looked alright. Onto the other side again, should be enough room. So let's open the shoulder out. I think that is, because if you wanted to progress the pose, this would actually enable you to do that. So shoulder out, but if it is more comfortable holding this side, you can do it this way. Okay, so you're kicking the foot into the hand. You're bringing the arm up in front. You can just come into this movement, staying up tall. Again, so folding forwards if you wish. Find your drishti, your focal point. Holding the posture, and then coming back. Okay, so you don't always have to hold them for that long. You can determine how long you want to stay in the pose for. We'll counter pose, so we'll come into a wide leg forward bend, Prasarita. If we take, actually let's take the hands behind, that will nice release the shoulders. Okay, so we'll clasp the hands behind, feet nice and wide, actually I'm the wrong way now, but feet feet nice and wide, and then folding forward. So again, hinging from the hips, weight slightly forward into the balls of the feet, and then taking the hands away. So you might find you're a little bit stuck here. That's completely fine. That's just to do with the openness and the shoulders. Weight slightly forward. You can see the difference. I'm sitting into the heels. I'm coming forwards. If they all open a bit deeper, opening deeper. Okay, and relaxing into the pose again. Weight slightly forward. Deeper stretch up the back of the legs. And breathing on the exhalation. Possibly going a little bit deeper. Relax into the deepest point, to the stretch. And then taking the hands slowly back down onto the back, onto the hips. And you can just come up with a flat back, or you can roll up one vertebra at a time. Okay? A bit dishevelled. We're going to come down now. So we'll come down, maybe toe squat actually. So we'll just come, I'll just come this way so you can see. Just coming, actually my toe squat's not very good. So hands to the shoulder height, coming onto the toes, and then just lowering down with control. So with control, knees might pop. Oh, there we go. Oh dear, it didn't hurt. You just gas bubbles. Okay, bringing the hands to prayer at the heart center. I'll come back this way just so you can see. If you're okay on your toes, staying on your toes. If you need to come onto your heels, come onto your heels. Okay? If you cannot access this position, don't worry. Just come down to seated, and we're going to move on to seated postures. Okay? If you're okay to balance on your toes, we'll bring the arms out to the sides and up. Breathing in, exhaling through the heart center. Breathing in again, arms up. Exhaling, and then one last time. There's room. Breathing in, exhaling down. Okay, so we'll move on to a couple of seated postures now. So we come down now for our seated postures. I think we're going to look at Ustrasana, which is camel pose. Possibly going to need the blocks for this. This is a heart opener, and then we'll follow that by, so that's a back bend. We'll follow that by a forward bend. So it's good to counterpose a back bend with a forward bend. But as always, I will show you lots of options. Let's set this on, down a little bit. Okay, so Ustrasana. First of all, we'll come sideways on. If you just come here first of all, if any issues with the knees, you feel to protect the knees, tuck the toes under. This just takes a little bit of the pressure off of the knee itself. Or you can untuck the toes if that feels comfortable, no problems with the knees. I will keep mine tucked under. Just to activate the quads, the muscles of the thighs, front of the thighs, we bring our arms parallel to the floor, and we're just going to ease back. Again, no pulling on the knees. If it pulls on the knees, don't come too far back or just miss this bit out. Okay? It's just to get that movement. Your hips are coming forwards and you're just easing back. To hold for a couple of breaths if it's okay. And then coming back up. Okay, we'll just do that one last time. So you're just gently easing back. No strain through the neck, shoulders nice and relaxed. Again, no discomfort in the knees, please. And then coming back up again. Okay, so that's just to warm the quads. We're going to show you Ardha Ustrasana, which is a half variation of the pose. Lots of things. If you can reach your heel, then you take your hand to your heel, okay? If you can't quite reach the heel, this is where the blocks are great. Maybe I just use the the thinner blocks of these bricks. You put them onto your heels, and you can rest a hand here, whichever way is comfortable on the shoulder. Try to keep the hips level, and then you're just reaching an arm up. Okay, so you don't want to twist if you can help it. trying to keep nice and level. One arm can come up a bit further. Don't have to take the gaze up, don't have to take the hand up even. You can just have the hand forwards. If that even feels, even if you stack pillows, it feels uncomfortable, just take one hand onto the lower back sacrum and just maybe take the hand up. Okay, it's just about getting an opening through the chest, through the heart, and then coming up. Okay, obviously you can have held this for a bit longer if you wish. We'll come to the other side, so you're taking the hand down to the heel if it will reach, otherwise you can use your blocks. Resting the hand onto the block, opening through the hips, or keeping the hips level, opening through the chest, hands possibly up, again no strain through the neck, gaze can be up, can be forwards, you can keep the hands forward, or remember, you can keep the hand to the lower back if you prefer, so whichever is more comfortable. Breathing, so taking a few breaths in this position, and then coming back to centre. You'll find you might want to fold forward, so we'll come back into child's pose just to release the lower back for a moment. So nice release here. Take a couple of breaths, you can even have the head onto the block if that feels more comfortable on the neck. A couple of breaths. Okay. And then you can either repeat what we've just done, or if you want to come a little bit deeper or progress the pose, so maybe you can use this sort of sequence over a period of time. So if you're not quite ready to go into the full posture, you can just take the half variation first of all, maybe the next time or later you can have a go at the full posture. So I will show you with the different props you can use. You can have the toes untucked. If you can reach your heels, we're reaching back, so if you can reach your heels, find the heels, and comfortably bring the hips forwards, you can come into this position, gaze can be up. Okay, obviously the next level is to tuck the toes, hands to find the heels. Sometimes that's the most challenging bit, finding the heels. Trying not to sink back, it doesn't matter if you do initially, but you're working to bring the hips forward. I'm assuming the hips are over the knees, I can't see, and then gaze can be forwards, or you take the gaze up. Okay, again, if that feels too deep, then you can hold the posture. If you're already in your posture, you can bring blocks. Again, 2, 1, you can use the bricks. And just to show you with the blocks, or cushions if you don't have blocks, you've got your hand, you can even take them flat really. But just to show you, helps to keep the hips forwards, opening through the heart centre, really is stretching through the lower back. Again, gaze can be up if it's comfortable, or just keep the gaze forwards. Again, alternative is just to keep the hands into the lower back and take the gaze up, or feel that lift through the heart centre. Okay, so holding this posture, taking a few breaths. Obviously, while I'm demonstrating all the different options, you can be holding your posture. So you'll hold it for 3 to 5 breaths. Again, just don't lose the head, because the head is very heavy, so if you lose it, it gets quite hard to bring it back up again. Okay, we'll release the pose, come into child's pose to release the lower back again, and you can take the head onto fists if you wish. Just take a couple of breaths, a few breaths here, a few moments to release the spine. Mentioned counterposing a back bend, Ustrasana, with a forward bend. So we'll have a look at Paschimottanasana. I might come this way actually. Again, so we come through or into Dandasana first of all, which is our staff pose. If you feel slumpy in this position, so if you feel like you're sitting like this and your upper back is rounded, quite often this is to do with the hips being a little bit tight. So this is where you can take the block into it. You can sit half onto the block or fold up a blanket, just to lift the hips a little bit, and you can see how that brings it forwards as opposed to sitting back. Okay, so that's an option. And alternatively, you lift the flesh from the sit bones, so you really are nice and grounded, and then coming into Paschimottanasana, so intense stretch of the west. Breathing the arms up, so we breathe in, lift up and out of the waist, and then we fold forward. So you come to your deepest position. Hands can come to the floor. If they'll come to the feet, they can come to the feet, or to the sides of the feet. So you're trying to keep the legs straight. You're aiming your belly towards the thighs, so it's not head towards the knees position, belly towards the thighs. If it's too strong, take a bend and just relax over slightly bent legs. So hold your position, so maybe you can have your legs outstretched. You can just keep the gaze forwards if you wish to keep the length through the spine, or you can relax a little deeper if you prefer. Okay, but keeping those shoulders away from the ears. Remember, you can sit up a little taller if you wish. So just breathing in, lengthening through the spine, shoulders away. As you exhale, possibly going a little deeper. It is, as the name suggests, an intense stretch. If it's too intense in the lower back, just don't go too deep. You can stay up here. Okay, as long as you can feel the stretch in the hamstrings, a little bit into the spine, and breathing. Always ways to modify the postures. Okay, so we're holding another breath. If you're a little deeper, staying deeper. And then breathing in, arms up, and then down. Okay? So we'll just come into a reclining twist from here. So we're just keeping it a relatively short sequence today. Always important to finish your sequence with a release through the spine. So hopefully you can see, still see me laying down here. So we come to the floor, the soles of the feet onto the mat. You can bring your knees in towards your chest for a slightly deeper stretch. Always get the chin back in. Right, so soles of the feet to the floor for a slightly manoeuvre. Feet to the floor, or knees to the chest for a slightly deeper release through the spine. I haven't left myself a lot of room here, so I'll just take my hands to shoulder height, bending at the elbows. If you've got room, stretch them out, so you can stretch your arms out. Again, remember, you can keep the feet here, and we'll take the knees to one side. So keep the shoulders grounded. Allow the shoulders to relax into the floor. Allow the feet to release into the floor, the knees. If it feels too strong, take the knees away. If it's not strong enough, bring the knees higher. You can even stretch or straighten the legs, possibly taking hold of the foot or feet. But all the time keeping the shoulders grounded. It is a lovely release for the spine. Remember, no strain in this position, just nice and relaxed. Bending the knees, come back to centre on the inhalation. Exhaling to the other side. So I haven't left myself enough room to stretch my legs out. If you wanted to stretch your legs out, extending them, bringing them higher for a deeper twist through the spine, or lower if that feels more comfortable. And then just taking a few breaths here. Again, ground down through the shoulders, just so you're not rolling over. The stretch is starting from the top all the way down. Feeling heavy into the floor. You can relax the head in the opposite direction if you wish. And then breathing the knees back to center, giving them a hug, Apanasana, breathing in. As you exhale, possibly draw the head up towards the knees. Releasing down. And then coming into position for Savasana. Okay, so comfortable position. I'm going to come up, laying on the floor. I'll show you the position in case you're not not familiar with this practice. Let me take this down. Extending the legs up. If you're comfortable to, Have the legs outstretched, slightly wider than hip width. Arms by your sides, palms uppermost. Might help to tuck the bottom under slightly, just to kind of release through the lower back. The palms uppermost is just releasing the shoulders. I just said that. And just finding a comfortable position. So if this is not comfortable, if it pulls on your lower back, you can bend your legs. You just take your feet mat width apart-ish. Allow the knees to just rest onto each other, just so you're not holding the knees like this, but you can still completely let go. So coming into your comfortable position. And just bringing your awareness to your breath. Deepening the inhalations and the exhalations. As you breathe in, draw in as much breath, prana, as you can. And as you exhale, use the exhalation to really let go. So let your body feel heavy into the floor as you breathe out. Breathing into the belly, and then expanding into the chest, the lungs, and then exhaling, releasing the belly, mid-chest, lungs. Bringing your awareness to the back of the body, the whole of the back of the body in contact with the mat, so wherever you can feel the heels, the calves, legs, bottom and the hips, the spine, the upper back, shoulders, the neck, and the back of the head, all supported by the mat, by the earth, is fully grounded in Savasana, helping you to process what's gone on before in your practice. Breathing in, exhaling and releasing into the support of the earth. Feeling your body sinking into the floor, melting into the ground, just heavy, deeply relaxed. Your mind and your body relaxed. Continuing to focus on the breath. Each exhalation sees you letting go a little deeper, a little further. Your mind and your body relaxed. Stay in Savasana for as long as you need to. And when you're ready, just starting to bring a little bit of movement back into the body, so you can wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, circle the hands, wrists, circle the feet. Starting to take slightly bigger movements, you can draw your knees in towards your chest. Take the knees from side to side if you wish. So any movement that feels right to bring energy back into the body. And then full body stretch, even. Okay, and then coming onto one side. So just taking a moment onto one side. Make a pillow with your hands if you find that comfortable. own time, slowly coming back to a comfortable position. Finding your comfortable seat. I'm only going to be here for a moment. Taking the hands out to the side, breathing the arms up. Exhaling to the brow center, the heart center. Thank you very much for joining me in your practice today, or choosing to do your practice with me. Namaste.